Hey, what is up everyone? What's good? I'm gonna be honest, for the next couple weeks, my videos are pretty much going to be centrally based around the iPhone 8. I'm picking one up this Friday, but I kind of wanted to get this video out there because it's been on my to-do list for super long. Like low-key, I have like 30 videos that I want to do before this Friday, but I don't think it's gonna happen. And we're just gonna go ahead and take a look at the DS versus the PSP in 2017. For this comparison, I'm gonna be comparing my DSi XL versus my PSP 2000. And surprisingly, they both have a lot in common that some people might not even realize. So starting off, I just want to say that I'm not biased in any way. I've owned Nintendo and Sony products in the past and now, and I think they're both like amazing companies and everything. And I did buy both of these used, just keep that in mind. But I feel like personally, let's just jump right into it, the DSi XL over a longer period of time has held up better than the PSP 2000 did. Now I'm aware that they came out in different years and different times or whatever. What I'm most surprised about is that I bought them for around the same price. But I feel like when I hold a PSP, it feels a little creaky and stuff, and that kind of has a lot to do with me dropping it and me like kicking around and stuff. But I've dropped the DSi XL as well, and I have not had any problems with it yet. But looking at the body, you can tell obviously the biggest difference. The PSP is more of a chocolate bar kind of thing, single screen. The DS is dual screen. Now it's up to you as preference, but the DSi XL actually has clickier buttons than I feel like than the PSP 2000 did. And I personally feel like the DSi XL is built a little bit better than the PSP 2000 is built. And that all has to do with pretty much the UMD slot in the back and the battery cover, because those things, I don't know why, they're made out of plastic, but when you like put them together and stuff and you're playing a game, they just creak non-stop. There's really nothing you can do about it besides throw on a case. But so the pros of the DS, battery life is amazing on this thing. Like literally, you can go days and days and days playing it and you won't run into any problems whatsoever. You can also throw custom ROMs on it. I will have a video up soon of how to do that. I already have it made and stuff, I just haven't posted it yet. But this thing can run all of your favorite Nintendo games, your Mario, your Sonic, Mario Kart Racing, all those games it can run. And if you have an R4 or a flash card of any sort, you can get those games and download them for free and play them. And that's one of Nintendo's strong suits, is that they have so many exclusive titles that are really amazing. And now the pros of the PSP are amazing graphics. The games that this thing can play are amazing, you know, and if you throw emulators on it, which you can play PS1 games and tons of other games, and they're just so super awesome. And like I said, multiple emulators. You can do PS1, Game Boy Advance, NES. I'm pretty sure you can do Nintendo 64 as well. And another thing I love about the PSP is that you can swap out a battery instantly without having to wait for it to charge or do anything. And I feel like that's a huge feature, because if you're going on a road trip, you won't necessarily be next to a charger at all times, so it's kind of cool. You can charge a couple batteries up, throw them in your book bag, and be ready to go. The DS is super awesome. The screen is a little pixelated though. I feel like it was just a DS Lite screen but expanded to make it bigger. They didn't really mess with the resolution or anything at all. And even though I feel like it's built better than the PSP 2000, I don't think it feels like a premium device. I feel like the PSP surprisingly feels more premium, but the DS, you know, can pass. It's not that bad. And like I said, the PSP feels somewhat more premium, but the UMD slot still feels pretty cheap. I mean, I honestly just want to rip it apart, but I feel like the resale value is going to jump down a little bit. It also uses a weird SD card. It's not a regular SD, it's like a micro, I don't remember what it is. And nobody really uses it anymore. Everybody either uses micro or a regular SD card size, so it's kind of weird what they did there. And even though you can swap batteries, the battery life isn't that good to start with. It's okay. I mean, it'll get you through a couple hours of gameplay, but I wouldn't really depend on it. I mean, you can probably, if you're conservative about it, you can probably get a day or two of usage out of it, but you can swap the battery, so that is an advantage. Now flipping back to DS, I enjoy those games. Mario is probably my favorite on the Nintendo DS. I know I'm basic, I know that, but being able to play like OG Spyro games and Crash Bandicoot games on the PSP through an emulator makes the PSP a little bit better in that regard. And they both have a lot in common. Like I said, they both have exclusive titles. The PSP was always able to run better graphics of most games than the DS can, and there were some games where they were the exact same game that came out, but the PSP could run it better than the DS could. I know one was Crash Bandicoot Mind Over Mutant, I think. On the DS one, it was more 2D side scrolling, but on the PSP, it was like full on 3D, almost like, it was legit almost like the PS3 version. So it's kind of interesting to compare these two. If you were going to get the DS, I would recommend that for someone who likes typical Nintendo games. And since the console can't really take heavy duty games that much, and the DS can't run that high graphics, so just remember that. And I would recommend it to someone who spends countless hours playing a console and they're not always right next to a charger, such as like a road trip or something. The DSi XL or any DS can run games for a very long time. I would recommend the PSP for someone who enjoys a better graphical experience. I sounded way smart there. And someone who wants somewhat more of a premium feeling device. I would just be careful though, since a lot of PSPs are used. If you are getting it used, I would make sure you test it out, hopefully, or feel it in your hands before, because it's kind of hard to see through a screen whether it's like good or if it creaks or whatever. And you can run so many emulators of different consoles on the PSP, and you can even run downloaded PSP games on it as well. So that's super awesome. And guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here though, add me on all the social networks you see on the screen. If this video did help you out in any way, hit that like button. Comment down in the comment section if you guys have any questions or concerns, or you guys want to argue with me or you hate me or something. Leave it down in the comment section. But if you're really new here, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get 20,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen, so come help me with that. Come join the movement, whatever. But more importantly than anything else I've said, I love all of you guys, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.